In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about why you have a weak sense of self. So I just made a video recently last week talking about how to develop a stronger sense of self. So this is like a part 2 to that one. So if you didn't see that one, please go ahead and watch it after this. But there were some important points that I missed in that first video. It always happens when you make YouTube videos. And in hindsight, I wanted to cover these very, very important topics in this video. So the first very important topic, the number one reason that you have a weak sense of self is due to trauma, is due to painful experiences you had in the past, which literally broke you. When you have trauma and you don't heal from it, you are broken. You are not whole anymore. And when you are broken, you have a weak sense of self. You don't know who you are. It's not that your true self is broken. It's the pain that you went through has masked the connection that you should have with that true self. And because you've lost connection with it, it feels like you're broken. And when you're broken, you're also more likely to abandon yourself. And people abandon themselves in so many different ways. Just to give you some examples of this, would be codependence or people pleasing or being a nice guy. Even showing off and trying to impress people is a form of self-abandonment, because you're doing something to essentially get someone to like you. Because deep down, you don't have that connection to yourself, your true self, which is love. And therefore, you are seeking it out in the world through codependence, being a nice guy, people pleasing, because you don't have it in yourself. The trauma broke you, broke that connection you should have had with yourself. And now you are seeking what you should be getting internally, externally. You're trying to get it from other people. So that is the main reason you have a weak sense of self, is trauma and these difficult experiences that you had. Now, something I talked about in the first video is how you are the ocean and you are the wave at the same time. That makes you the same as everybody else and also unique. Now, I wanted to speak to you about being the ocean a little bit more. To be the ocean means you recognize what you are at your true essence, at your absolute deepest core. And that is consciousness. That is what you are at your very core. That is what you need to connect to feel whole again. That is what will put you back together, right? If you consider trauma fragmented you and broke you, it's the connection to your true self, consciousness, that brings you back together. And just like the ocean has no space in it. It's whole. That's what your true essence is. It is whole. If you consider everything is born out of consciousness, it's the foundation of life. It's the foundation of everything. That means it is already whole. By default, it is whole because it contains everything that ever existed. Now, when you connect to that, you become whole. You realize you are the source of everything. Nothing is lacking. But it's through the trauma and the fragmentation, the brokenness, we've lost touch with the wholeness. And it's when you connect to that wholeness can your true self start to shine through and you develop a healthier sense of self. There's a couple of practices that I would like to help you along with this. The first one is self-love. Anything to do with self-love practices, because essentially wholeness is self-love. That's what it is. So the more you work on things like self-love, opening your heart and feeling love and compassion for yourself, that will naturally bring you back into contact with your wholeness, with your true self. The other important thing that's going to help you along here is embodiment practices. That means being more connected to your body. When we have trauma and we get fragmented, we lose contact with our body. When we lose contact with our body, how can we know who we are? How can we be loyal to ourselves and stand up for ourselves if we don't have that connection to ourselves? And the connection occurs through embodiment. It occurs through connecting to ourselves through our body. So a couple of practices I can recommend here is you can get therapy to help you with this, something like somatic experiencing. That's what this whole trauma therapy is about. It's about connecting you more to your body. Also, you can do things like yoga, just anything to do with groundedness, anything that brings you more into your body, even working out, exercising, providing you stay connected and you don't get stuck in your thoughts or listening to podcasts while you're working out, but actually be very, very connected to your physicality. The more you begin to develop this connection to yourself, that leads you to a path to embodied spirituality. That will drop you into that connection, into the field, into your true self, where you will regain that wholeness that was lost. When you regain that wholeness, you have that stronger sense of self, right? You have something to stay loyal to. You become someone who is less moved. You don't abandon yourself as much, or if ever abandon yourself. You're prepared to speak your truth, right? Because you now know what it is. So ultimately, it's about healing trauma, okay? That is the core piece to heal this weak sense of self. So this is only a short video. I just wanted to get this out there. If you want to watch more things like this, feel free to check out these videos right here. But until next time, God bless.